Welcome everybody to another You Don't Have Jurisdiction, Your Honor, episode of Lockdown 23 in 1. That's right, we're jumping in the courtroom once again to witness a defendant argue with the judge over jurisdiction. Now, the courts have a process. I mean, it could be a little bit different depending on what state you're in, but in the beginning, it's all going to be pretty much the same. The judge is going to tell you why you're in the courtroom, how much time you could be facing. Do you want to represent yourself or get a court-appointed attorney? Usually, people are just going with the flow, listening to the judge, answering yes or no. Well, not this guy. He's going to pave his own way, and we're going to find out where it leads. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoy this type of content, all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today.
First case this afternoon is People of the State of Michigan versus Trevor McLeod. It's file 23-6748FH. Counsel, you want to state your appearance, please?
Anthony Julian on behalf of the people.
Okay, Mr. McLeod, are you present, sir?
Yeah.
Do you want to come on up to the table here?
I want to reserve all my rights.
That's fine, I'll
Sorry.
okay. All right, so Mr. McLeod, this is the time and date scheduled for what's called a circuit court arraignment.
Before the defendant even sat down, he's saying something about his rights. Judge was about to reply to him, but just kind of diverted that wave and went into a different subject.
The table here?
I want to reserve all my rights.
That's fine, I'll
Sorry.
okay. All right, so Mr. McLeod, this is the time and date scheduled for what's called for a circuit court arraignment. The case having been bound over to this court by the district court. So you're here representing yourself today, is that correct?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm required by law to make sure that I've taken an initial waiver of your right to counsel in this court. So I covered a pre-trial hearing in the district court, so we talked a little bit about this, but now it's up in my court. So you've got two constitutional rights. You have the constitutional right to be represented by an attorney, and if you wanted to have an attorney at public expense and qualified, to have that. You also do have the right under our Constitution to represent yourself. Obviously, you can't do both things at the same time. So do you understand your right to a lawyer, including a court-appointed lawyer?
I understand that.
Okay. And do you wish to represent yourself instead of having an attorney?
Yeah, I'm here.
That was a long pause.
By special appearance, and I will be representing myself.
Okay. I'm required by law, before I accept that waiver, to do a couple things. One, advise you of the maximum penalties that you could face for the charges that you're in my court for. Resisting, obstructing conservation officers is a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $1,000 fine. There's a habitual offender second notice that's been filed by the prosecutor, which would make that a felony punishable by up to 3 years and or $1,000 fine. And marine safety operating while intoxicated is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days and or $100 to $500 fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty for the charges against you?
Well, I don't even really understand why I'm here, honestly.
Well, that's okay. Well, that's fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty that I just explained to you?
No. So
Oh man, the judge is like, here we go. But you heard what the judge said. He's in here for obstruction, and I believe it's his third offense, so they're compounding it into a felony. And a lot of people, they don't even know that can even happen. I've seen people in jail get slapped the same exact way with a felony, going straight to prison. They thought they were just going to do the normal misdemeanor time, 12 months max? In Virginia, you do 50% on a misdemeanor, so 6 months. Think again, they just compounded it. Very real situation, and people are dealing with it every single day. They got something for you if you want to keep committing the same crime over and over again.
And I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things.
Well, I need to establish a couple things too, honestly.
Hold on. Well, I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things, or I'm going to be in trouble. Okay. Do you understand that the maximum penalty that you could face for the charges that you're here for is up to 3 years in prison and or $1,000?
I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me. So
what is it that you don't understand? Do you not understand how long 3 years is, or how much the fine is that I've articulated? Can you tell me what it is you don't understand?
The nature and cause of the action against me because there's no established jurisdiction.
That's not what I'm asking you right now.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I'll let you place whatever objections you want on the record, Mr. McLeod. I promise you that, okay? Can we just go one step at a time? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So one step at a time, I need to establish that you're exercising your constitutional right to represent yourself validly. So for me to do that, somebody might decide they want to do that and they really don't understand what's at stake. So I have to establish on the record that you do understand what's at stake.
Well, I think you have to establish on the record first that you can have jurisdiction. That's the question. It was questioned in preliminary hearing.
Let's not dump jurisdiction,
I'll
Your
address that
Honor.
today.
Well, it has to be addressed before anything can move forward, obviously.
Okay, so you want me to explain to you why I have jurisdiction?
Yes.
Yes,
let's do
You
that
have
please.
jurisdiction itself.
Thank you.
This court has subject matter jurisdiction over crimes punishable by more than a year as the court of general jurisdiction under the Michigan Constitution of 1963. The people voted to ratify that Constitution. That is the underlying law of our sovereign state of Michigan.
Okay, so is that a jurisdiction under criminal? Or is it military?
Yeah, it's a criminal charge against you, and I have jurisdiction over that.
Okay, so the Constitution of the United States only grants you two criminal jurisdictions. One's common law, and one is military tribunal venue under Article 1, Section Clause 17 of the Constitution, which...
Military tribunal. Oh, man. Judge grabbed the white lightning instantly. I mean the water, my fault. He already knows where this unbeaten path is going.
These two criminal jurisdictions is that.
You're not in federal court. It's not a federal crime you've been charged. You've been charged with violating the law of the state of Michigan. And, hey, what's going on over there? What are you doing, sir?
I'm trying to make sure that this is going live. It's not happening. There's something messed up with your film, and I'm trying to straighten it out. I was just checking to see if it was recording or not.
Sit down. Sit down. You're disrupting the courtroom.
Sorry, sir.
It's live.
Was that guy trolling? He just made the judge stop the live to check to make sure it's still live. Look, whenever I go live, I got guys doing the same damn thing while I'm live. Bro, your audio's messed up. I can't hear you. I click on my video, man, my audio's fine. I don't think that's what it was, though. I just think it was the tech, running the camera and things, even though he did base on the judge a bit. What if it's not even a technician? It's just some guy viewing the trial.
You're not in federal court. It's not a federal crime you've been charged.
I got to hear this again.
The law of the state of Michigan. And, hey, what's going on over there? What are you doing, sir?
I'm trying to make sure that this is going live. It's not happening. There's something messed up with your film, and I'm trying to straighten it out. I was just checking to see if it was recording or not.
Sit down. Sit down. You're disrupting the courtroom.
Sorry, sir.
It's live.
You idiot.
Any more disruptions, I'm going to ask you to leave.
That's right.
So,
And what the hell is he talking about film? What is this, 1930? There ain't reeling nothing back there, man. This is all digital.
common law?
Cloud, you're in a state court. You're charged with violating the law of the state of Michigan.
Is that a statutory jurisdiction? What is it?
Yeah, it's a statute.
It's-
And this court is duly authorized under Article 6 of the Michigan Constitution.
That's right.
So that's my jurisdiction.
Okay.
So now I need to make sure that you're establishing your right to represent yourself. So do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as charged? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine.
Well, I have another question because the statutory jurisdiction doesn't exist under the Constitution. So in order for me to defend myself, could you please tell me where the published rules of conduct are for criminal statutory jurisdiction, or where I can find the nature and cause of this jurisdiction, or how this information exists?
No, I don't even understand what you're asking.
Jurisdiction under what? The statutes of Michigan, correct?
Mr. McLeod, I've told you what my jurisdiction is.
General
The
jurisdiction.
people of the state of Michigan voted to convene a constitutional convention in 1961.
Sure.
There was a constitutional convention in 1961 and 1962.
Sure.
They proposed a state constitution. The voters of the state of Michigan ratified that in 1963.
True.
Article 6 establishes the judicial power.
He flips his
And the circuit
pages
court
again.
is a court under that judicial power of Article 6 of the state constitution. The legislative power is exercised by the House of Representatives and the state Senate. They have passed statutes that the governor has signed. The prosecutor's office is alleging that you have violated those statutes, And so you're here in my court. I have subject matter jurisdiction over those crimes. I have personal jurisdiction over you because you've been alleged to have committed them in our county. That's my jurisdiction. So, Mr. McLeod, do you want to represent yourself? Do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face of 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
Uh-oh.
1 second.
Oh, no, he's got to study his notes.
I can see why his attorney would Drew. Oh, shit.
Hang on. Someone in the prosecutor's office is not muted. I'm going to remove you from the meeting at this time.
Oh.
Prosecutor's office is generally allowed to attend to observe. They participated. I'm removing them from the hearing.
What kind of show's being ran here, prosecution? Oh, man. Talking shit back there thinking no one can hear. We got to run this back.
1 second.
I can see why his attorney would Drew.
Ah, low blow.
Oh, shit.
Hang on. Someone in the prosecutor's office is not muted. I'm going to remove you from the meeting at this time.
Oh.
Prosecutor's office is generally allowed to attend to observe. They participated. I'm removing them from the hearing.
Prosecution, man, you dropped the ball. This guy's going to have a field day with this.
1 second.
If I was him, I would be like, sir, how can I manage anything with this prosecution in my ear? I object and move to dismissal.
Okay, so in enforcement of mere statutes, judges of all courts do not act judicially and are thus are not protected and qualified by limited immunity. That's Owen versus the city. I just want to state a few things for the record since you're claiming this is a jurisdiction under statutory law.
Hang on. Mr. McLeod, can we back it? Look at me for a second. Can we talk here?
I challenged subject matter jurisdiction and nothing can go forward until that's addressed. You're saying
I did address it and I denied your objection. I have subject matter
doesn't
jurisdiction.
exist under the Constitution.
Your objection is noted. So, Mr. McLeod, do you understand? Let me explain to you.
Sure.
Sometimes, as I said, people might want to represent themselves, but let's say they have limited intellectual capacity and they don't understand what's going on. I have to establish that they know what's going on before I can allow them to represent themselves.
Limited intellectual capacity. Your Honor, your choice of words is superb.
Do you comprehend, do you know the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as a result of this charge? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine. Do you understand that, Mr. McLeod?
So I'd like to state for the record that
Mr. McLeod,
the
stop.
court can be.
Mr. McLeod, if you don't understand it,
Smoke
I'm going
them.
to revoke your right to represent yourself and have an attorney represent you because I can't establish that you know what you're doing. So do you know the maximum penalty that you would face?
Your Honor, I've challenged this court's jurisdiction. You haven't established it yet. You said you have a statutory jurisdiction which doesn't exist under the Constitution. I'm trying to figure out where I stand with this. So I can't answer any of your questions until you answer some of mine.
That's not how it works. Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm
Then answer it. Do you understand the maximum penalty that you face for this charge?
This judge has got magnificent patience, but it's starting to wear thin. He's about to start smoking something if you don't tighten up and answer the question.
So judges who become involved in enforcement of
Mr.
your
McLeod,
statutes.
I have other matters. Mr. McLeod,
involved agency. What's that?
you know, I understand you want to object to things, and you're going to be allowed to object to things, okay?
Sure.
But we have to do things one step at a time. And I do have other cases today. I'm not going to entertain this for like a whole hour. I've got other cases going on. If you want to dig in your heels and just make this real complicated or real difficult, we could do that. And I can hold you in contempt, and you'll go back to a jail cell for a while.
No, Your
and then
Honor,
we'll do
I don't wish to be held in contempt. I'm just wishing to exercise my Sixth Amendment right.
That's fine.
And
So before I can let you under,
I can cite laws that will show you that the exercise of a right can be converted into a crime. I'm trying to understand the nature and cause of the action against me. You're not clarifying enough to where I can comprehend it, as you say.
you don't comprehend the maximum penalty that you would face.
I'm not answering any of those questions until you establish that this is a court of the Constitution, has jurisdiction under these jurisdictions.
I established it. I told you. You might think I'm wrong, and you can appeal.
There's no such thing as a statutory jurisdiction.
Mr. McLeod, let me make this simple for you. Do you ever watch, let me make this simple for you.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you this question one more time. One more time.
Okay.
Two things are going to happen. You are either going to answer my question, or I'm going to hold you summarily in contempt. And the court officer will bring you to a jail cell, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. You understand that?
So,
Mr.
contempt
McLeod,
for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and/or $1,000 fine?
What's gonna happen? Is he gonna just take it and say, yes, I agree and understand how much time I could be facing? Or is he gonna continue with the jurisdiction rebuttals?
That the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and/or $1,000 fine.
I don't understand the charges.
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court, taken into custody.
Oh, smoke. Where's my smoke? Damn. Greased up.
You guys are following
unconstitutional
You're following
orders.
unlaw orders. It's not constitutional at all.
Mr. McLeod's in contempt and sentenced to 1
Oil
day.
truck backed up. Boots. Got a glaze of oil over them. And they're starting to
Mr.
smoke.
McLeod, your sentence is 1 day in jail. We'll reconvene tomorrow and get you
This is about
notice.
the Constitution. I did nothing wrong except to question and exercise my rights.
Bro, just follow the smoke trail. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever wondered not answering the judge's question could ever land you in jail, well, you just found out. Contempt of court, 1 day. Crazy turn of events, but one thing's for sure. Don't let the best friend in your passenger seat hype you up to say, you ain't got no jurisdiction over me. Better have a lot more to back it up than a couple pages of quotes, especially if you're facing prison time. That guy's a fool. Even a court-appointed attorney doing better than what he's doing now. But let me know how you felt about all this in the comment section below. I love to hear y'all's input. And stay tuned. I got plenty more content coming your way. I believe the next one's going to be on inmates in jail. A little lineup, compilation of clips from behind bars. Haven't done one of those in quite a while. So be on the lookout for that. And the only way to do that is by hitting that notification bell, setting it to all. In the meantime, as always, y'all be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, stay free.